Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the Boudoir. This is going to be one of those episodes where we talk about a bunch of different topics in one because I don't really feel like these need to be a whole episode, and I usually do this when there's like a bunch of stuff going on social media, and I figured today would be the perfect time to talk about everything that's kind of been going on and give my thoughts and kind of tie them into like all of the themes that are on this podcast, which is like confidence, boundaries, knowing when to walk away. We are going to call these Boudoir bites because these are like little bite-sized topics, and I just think it's a really cute name. So everyone's appetite ready? Everybody ready to go? Okay, let's get into it. So the first topic we're going to be talking about, I'm sure you guys have all seen on TikTok by now. Blake Lively is just she's like the new J-Lo. Some not so savory moments in the media right now surrounding her and just how she's been handling her press tours. To be quite honest with you, I've seen the clip, but I haven't really like seen everybody's opinions on it. But I was completely turned off by what I saw because the behavior was very Mean Girl-like. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna actually insert the clip for you right now so you can see.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And these, they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you. Thank you.
To talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's suits and how
that's what I'm
he
saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's
Everybody.
wardrobe was
I know.
gorgeous.
He's
Those
so
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I wish men
And
wore
sorry,
high-waisted
too.
pants
I
like
know.
that still.
Me too.
Or the father with his tank top in
Oh,
bed.
it's so
Just
good.
like it's just like
Did you
that.
catch
You could feel
the
it.
tablecloth on the light in the Italian restaurant when they eat spaghetti?
I didn't
in
notice
it?
that. No.
But there's
So
so
I
much
feel like-
warmth of everything, you know.
Yeah, it's not just the women that have the clothes.
But
I feel like the women
Victoria-
get the conversation, but it's like
Yeah.
every detail with everybody.
But yeah,
It's so,
it was
so
amazing
beautiful.
to look at.
Steve's
And then to
white
see it.
suits.
Yes.
Okay, so I specifically wanted to talk about this in the context of like Mean Girls and the types of sinister behaviors they will employ in order to make you feel like shit, okay? And as someone who has been on the receiving end of that type of targeted, because it's very intentional and targeted, that type of targeted, just mean-spirited behavior. The thing about these types of behaviors is that when you are intentionally shunning somebody from the conversation and you're literally pretending like they're not there, and you're making like you're doing that in front of them and you want them to know that we don't want you here, but we're not going to say that out loud. We're going to make you feel like you are not a part of the conversation. That's crazy. Like, this was an interview. Like, it's not like they were just, you know, on a schoolyard somewhere. Not that it would be okay then, but you're literally in a professional setting. You are promoting a movie. Like, you're basically at work. So like, why would you conduct yourself this way? Was nobody behind the camera? Was there no like media person, no PR to be like, you're on the clock right now? Like, people nowadays, like, they're starting to not see celebrities how we used to see them in like the 2000s, even the 2010s. We don't see celebrities as these like people we should idolize. Of course, you still have things like Stan Twitter and people making whole accounts dedicated to a person that they want to stan, but I feel like for the most part, collectively, we're starting to wake up. Like, I don't know if you guys remember a couple months back with the whole celebrity blackout thing. I thought that was really cool because that was the first time I think ever that we had really like seen celebrities for what they were. I'm the type of person where I think art has a place in this world, and I think every art form deserves to be showcased. I'm not saying that we should never pay attention to movies. There's so many people on a crew that are working on these things. It's not just the actress, it's not just the big A-lister. There's, you know, lighting people and cinematographers and somebody who literally had to conceptualize the idea for the movie or the TV show. And I think that as somebody who's in the arts and who's always loved art, I think that there is a place for everybody and there's a place for every type of art form there is, and that includes Hollywood and movies. Although there's a lot of like weird stuff that goes on in Hollywood that's not conspiratorial, it's factual. And we are seeing that unfold. And I feel like especially this year, we've been seeing so much craziness just because these people are super talented at something. Like, just because you can take a script and like transform it and make it into a Tony Award winning, Emmy Award winning thing doesn't mean that you deserve to be treated as if you are untouchable and that you are God. And a lot of celebrities, because we have given them that type of power, they take that and they run with it. And people who were either always very self-centered will come come into this career path and they will take all of that power that the fans give them and just go on a power trip, or because they see what you can get when you have all of these people worshiping you and saying that you could do no wrong and just, you know, blindly supporting them. They take that and they just run amok with it. And so if you ask me, I feel like we should just look at celebrities as if they're just a talented person. Like, what's the difference between you and Beyonce? Okay, maybe she is very, very talented at singing and dancing and performing, but like for every one Beyonce there's like 10, 20, 50, hundreds of others that are just as talented but just don't have the opportunities that she has, or that just will never get discovered just because, you know, it's just the time and a place. So I say all of that to say we shouldn't look at celebrities as if they're up here and we're down here. Like, just because you can dribble a basketball really well, like what sets you apart from LeBron James? He's very tall and he can, don't ask me no basketball terminology, but you know what I mean. Like, just because you are really good at dribbling a ball and that you're over 6'5", outside of that you are still a human being. Like, we all bleed the same, we all go to the bathroom. Like, just because you are super good at something doesn't mean that you deserve to run freely just being rude to anybody. And a lot of these celebrities don't understand that, like, we're catching on to the game and, like, we're not going to put you on a pedestal anymore. We're going to enjoy your movies, but we're not going to see us as inferior to you. And I think they're getting scared of that, and, like, they're trying to cling on to whatever they have going on for themselves. And it's not working. Like, we're seeing through it, and it's actually kind of cringy and embarrassing, like, to conduct yourself this way, girl. Like, but it's like beyond Blake Lively and that other lady, like beyond that, this is the type of thing that people can do to you. And this is why it's so important to identify when people don't want you there. Like, being on the receiving end of that type of behavior sucks. You're being intentionally targeted, and they know what they're doing. Like, they're very aware of what they're doing, and instead of just being like, hey, you know what, like, let's get away from the interview and let's just say this is how maybe your coworkers were acting, or people at school were acting, or even people in your family, like, that to me is just so mean-spirited. And the fact that you can make somebody feel like they're unwanted, kind of sociopathic, not to diagnose anybody with anything, but that is just weird. Like, and the thing is because it's not just outright, I don't like you, I don't want to talk to you, you're boring me, because they're not outright saying it, you can like psych yourself out almost and act like, well, maybe I am overreacting. Like, they're not outwardly saying we don't want you here, but they're doing it in such a subtle way that it makes you question yourself. And those types of psychological tactics can really take a toll on your mental. It's like gaslighting. Like, if somebody was like, oh, come on, I was just joking. Like, you're being so sensitive. Like, who are you to dictate what is my threshold for, like, sensitivity? Like, who are you to tell me what I should and shouldn't be offended by? Especially when you know darn well you said that to hurt my feelings, or you're doing this to make me feel a certain way. And by doing these little underhanded, like, conniving type of mean girl tactics, it makes you question yourself, and it makes you question the reality of the situation, which is that you are being blatantly disrespected, just in a very minuscule, lowercase, and underhanded way. But if you ask me, I think that's I think that's far worse than just coming out and saying, listen, I don't want to talk to you, I don't like you, I don't want to be your friend. Like, I think that's so much worse, because you're willing to waste your own time, you're willing to go through all of this to try to make somebody understand that you don't like them by making them question themselves and making them feel shitty about themselves. I think that's so messed up. And then what these mean girls will do is they'll be like, well, I didn't mean it, or I wasn't saying it like that. You have to be careful, because those mean girls exist, and us as women can pick up on those subtle nuances, and that's the point. Like, it's literally psychological warfare. And if you noticed in the clip with the body language, like, I don't even know what that other actress's name is, but they were literally turning their body language to signal that they didn't want to talk to the interviewer. Like, normally if you were having a conversation with somebody, your feet would be pointed towards them, like your whole body would pretty much be pointed towards them, showing that you're interested in the conversation. By going like this, you're literally creating like a proverbial wall between you and the other person, and you're singling them out. Especially, oh, don't let it be a group of three. Like, those types of triangulation, like, oh, we're gonna gang up on you and you're gonna be the odd one out. that literally hurts. Like, these types of things are done in such a way to make you second guess and question yourself and wonder if you are overreacting. If you find yourself questioning your gut instinct, because your gut is never gonna lie. Like, your first initial reaction to the behavior that's being displayed towards you is the truth. The second that you start trying to put logic into it and, you know, trying to psych yourself out, like, oh, am I actually seeing things this way? Do I have the whole picture? Am I right? Like, that's when you know that there's some other stuff going on. Let's talk about mean girl tactics for a second. I just typed into Google some mean girl tactics, and I'm just gonna read you the list that I see right here because it's important to be able to identify these things. So the first one is exclusion, which is what we saw with the turning of the body language and the literally physically excluding somebody out of the conversation. They can also do this by talking about things that they know that you are not a part of. For example, like if they're talking about a party that they know that you weren't invited and they're just constantly going on and on and on about it, they want you to know that yes, we are doing things without you because we do not want your presence there. And they want to talk about it in front of you to let you know, hey, by the way, we don't want you here. Like, that's what I'm saying. This stuff is sinister. Like, it is so calculated. Gossiping, manipulation, manipulating you into doing things because they know that you want their friendship, befriending you to learn secrets about you, gossiping, spreading rumors about those things. Being passive aggressive is like the backbone of all of these things. That, oh, I was just kidding. I didn't mean it like that. Oh, you're overreacting. I wasn't trying to say that at all. We've also talked about plausible deniability in the past, which is the same type of thing where they can kind of use it as a cop-out, purposely being ambiguous and vague, but just cutting enough so that you understand that you are the target of that behavior. Because it's so ambiguous and you can kind of take it any way, and they're very good at picking specific ways of doing this, they can be like, well, I didn't mean it like that. You just took it this way. It could sound like that, but I actually meant it this way. And it's so frustrating because you know how something makes you feel and they know what they're doing, but because they're acting clueless, like, oh, I don't know what's going on, like, it's just very annoying and grating. That's why you don't want these types of people in your life. Even if you're friends with a mean girl, because this is like, there's some Gretchen Wieners out there. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen the movie Mean Girls, but if not, these types of social hierarchy groups always have the leader, they have the lackeys, and the one that's kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just here just cuz. So some of y'all can be the Gretchen Wieners where you want to be the popular girl, you want to be the main girl, so you'll do anything that this person tells you just so that you can be a part of the group and you can be a part of the things. Just know that your day will come one day. Regina was talking mad-ish about Gretchen throughout the entire movie. We all heard the three-way call attack, like setting people up, purposely doing things to like get people caught, throwing others under the bus. So even if you are not the person that is being targeted, your day will come. Just know that. People like that, they will never, like, the power that they receive will never be enough. They're always looking for more. They're always power hungry. They're always looking for someone to put down. And if it's not you today, it will be you tomorrow. And they're definitely talking mad shit about you. Just saying. So, young girls, I don't know if you're a part of a clique and there's a girl or a group of girls that is just being unnecessarily rude and nasty towards people, and you know that that's not how you want to conduct yourself and behave. End it now, because they're probably already talking about you. When you're not hanging out with them, you're probably being talked about. So just saying, I don't say that to scare you, but some people are just very nasty and you don't want to be a part of that. Like, what goes around comes around, you know? So why would you want to put out just nasty negative energy? Don't surround yourself with people like that, because it's a miserable life, you know? You're never truly happy. Moving on. So we are going to talk about a very popular thing, a very viral phrase that you guys probably already know what I'm about to say. We're talking about Demure Gate, started by none other than Jools, and she is from Chicago, which is so cool. I want to hang out with her and I want to go outside and be demure. Like, I just think that's so cool. I love it when people go viral that live in Chicago. Demure, mindful, these words are everywhere. They're now a part of my vocabulary, my lexicon. I'm very cutesy and demuretsy and sweetsy. This trend has taken off so quickly. I would say the last time we saw a trend that took off this quick was maybe the chicken salad. It's a chicken salad. I think that was the last time we saw something this quick go viral. I think I saw her with Patrick Todd getting her makeup done. She's just doing so much, and I think there's still so much more to come. Probably like this thing has just taken off, and I'm so happy because she's actually able to, I believe, fund her transition. Because of this one little phrase, she's now able to do all of these great things, which is so cool. It's just a testament to show like if you want to create content, now is the time, because you never know when something silly as demure and mindful, like just two basic words, are making you literally change your whole lifestyle and your whole tax bracket. It's inspiring for me, you know, as a small creator. I still have so many goals that I want to achieve on YouTube and across other social platforms. So like just seeing someone, especially so close in proximity to me in the same city, go viral like this, that's amazing. But of course, what happens when somebody goes viral, when somebody's doing something good for themselves? You have all these other people coming out in the woodwork trying to, you know, get their little hands in on what's going on. Mind you, this is Mercury retrograde. Mercury is in micro braids right now. To be going viral during this time, I feel like is just extra divine and extra cool, because you're using this time regarding like communication and you're going viral. I think that's really cool. But in turn, because this is a retrograde, we're also getting like the not so great side of communication. We're getting a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, and now people are coming out of the woodwork saying like they started saying demure first, and like this one person was just being so unnecessarily mean. We're going to talk about mean girls again, just saying the most unnecessary things about Jools' looks, bringing up physical appearance for absolutely no reason. Like it's one thing if, I believe their name is Celine had said the word demure first, but it just didn't catch on. It went viral now when Jools did it. And from my understanding, the other creator that started attacking Jools' looks is mutuals with the other girl, Celine, or something. I don't know if that's actually true, so if I got that wrong, I'm sorry. But we're not even going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about the fact that when somebody sees your light shining and you have a huge light, look at this. Do you see how viral and quickly this thing went viral? And not only that, like for a trans girl to go viral in this capacity, for all of these brands to want to work with her and like throw ad spend at her, that's incredible in itself. The fact that people will see your light shining and people will see you have a great thing going for yourself, they will try to do anything they can to ruin it. And this person in this case just so happened to start attacking Jools' looks. It just goes to show that this is what people will do. When you have a light shining within yourself and you're not afraid to showcase it, you're not afraid to have a certain image, you're not afraid to have a certain look, a certain vibe, and be that fully and take it as far as it can take you. When people see you living in that and reaping the benefits of what that lifestyle brings you, it eats them up so bad. It makes them so upset. And you're seeing all of these people that are like, oh, I'm tired of the word demure. Like, it has gone viral. It is everywhere. I understand if like you just keep seeing this word demure and you have no idea what's going on. But like those that are in on the joke and like that understand, we're trying to enjoy it. We're just having a nice time right now. And it's just nice to see somebody, a fellow creator, grow and get all of these nice accolades. But for some reason, certain people can't handle that. When they have something unresolved or something that they're fighting within themselves, they have to go and attack others. So be mindful, be demurtsy, but seriously, be mindful as you are growing and you're on your level up journey and you're achieving all of these goals and you're doing all of these things that you said you're going to do. You're going to have people coming out of the woodwork, whether it's family, friends, strangers on the internet, haters, trolls, that just are so bothered and threatened to see somebody living their truth, living their life, and acting on the things they want. It truly, truly bothers them because for some reason, instead of using that energy and putting it towards their own goals, their own dreams, their own lifestyle that they want to live, they'd rather make you feel bad about what you have. They'd rather make you second guess what you're going after because that's what they do with themselves. Remember that everything is projection for the most part. Like if somebody is putting a narrative onto you that is not true, they are most likely projecting whatever they're fighting, whatever demons that they are battling and kickboxing, and they are reverse unoing it back to you. They're trying to get whatever they have, whatever negative stuff that's going on within themselves. They're trying to push it onto you in hopes of not feeling it themselves anymore, and hopefully pushing that feeling onto you so that they can watch you second guess yourself, watch you say, you know what, never mind, I'm too scared of what people are going to think, and like step away from your light and dim your light. They get joy out of seeing you diffuse yourself. And I'm not gonna stand by and watch a second longer without calling these people out. They need to be called out. Like, I just think it's so unfair. Like, it's one thing for you to second guess yourself. It's one thing for you to feel insecure about going for your goals, going for whatever you want. But for you to put that onto other people, for you to attack somebody's looks unprovoked, for you to take an opportunity where instead of lifting somebody up and saying, wow, I'm so like happy for you, or even just scrolling past and hitting not interested, if somebody else's success really bothers you that bad and you can't even just ignore it and watch something else, for you to take that out on somebody, I think that's just so miserable and so not a good use of your time. Like, why be a hater when you can just make yourself better? And when you're spending all this time looking at what everybody else is doing and you got your eyes all over here instead of focusing on your own path, that's why your life is miserable. I have to say it. That's why you're miserable. When you're too busy focusing on other people and having a microscope on everybody else's life and you're not focusing on your own, that's why you feel like everything is so chaotic. That's why you feel like everything is chaotic, because you're so focused on everybody else's things instead of your own self. And you don't have a grasp on anything. You don't have a sense of grounding. You don't have a sense of center because you want to compare your life to others. And that's why yours seems so miserable, because instead of, asking yourself, hey, maybe they put in a lot of work on themselves to get to that point. Maybe they did a lot of studying to get that smart in order to invest that money, or they learned this language to be able to travel to this country. They put in the hours each day. They restricted their diet to get that type of body. Like, instead of just assuming the best and assuming that somebody, earned whatever they had, or even just being happy for them, you're too busy trying to see the worst in somebody, seeing the negativity, trying to act like they didn't work for this. What did they do to deserve this? Like, who are you to say what somebody does or doesn't deserve? And we talked about this last week in my 26 life lessons episode, where I was just talking about, like, after a while, you learn that comparing yourself to others, comparing your journey to somebody else's, or even just like coveting what somebody else has that you see on social media, like, that actually does nothing for you, because your story, no matter if you want the same goals as them, you want that same Louis bag as them, you want that same car, that same career path, even if you want the same things as them, you're never going to get it the exact same way that they got it. Even if you study other people's journeys, you have a million mentors, like, it's all still going to be your own story and journey. You can never replicate what somebody else has. So you might as well just focus on your own path. And as we learned, since everything is projection, by saying that somebody doesn't deserve it, they didn't work hard for it, they shouldn't have this, you're telling on yourself, because what you're saying is that you don't think you deserve it. You're saying you don't think you can work hard enough for it. You don't think that you have the tools to get to that point. You don't think you'll ever be able to travel to that country. And so instead of unpacking that within yourself and trying to shift your own mindset and transmute that energy into something positive for yourself, you want to get that negativity out of you somehow. And so you put it on somebody else and you attack their looks. You say they don't deserve something. You try to make them second guess themselves so that they can stay stuck with you. And I think that's so unfair. And you know what? It happens. When you see somebody living a nice life, when you see person after person having what you want, and maybe your current situation isn't what you want it to be, it's so easy to fall down that path of just being a hater, being nasty, being miserable and mean and hating the world, making others feel bad. But like I said, it literally does nothing for you. You're just misplacing whatever sort of unhappiness that you're feeling within yourself. You're putting it on somebody who has figured themselves out and who has mastered themselves and who is confident enough to go for what they want. You think it's more comfortable to have other people that are in your exact position to stay down with you instead of elevating and learning how to get to that next point and figuring it out for yourself. It can be so much more fulfilling to just work on yourself and focus on your own path instead of looking at everything else except for what you have going on for yourself. If you are feeling those feelings of jealousy, if you feel like, everybody else is where they should be and I'm the only one, you have to look inward. You have to find ways to get what you want. Instead of asking, how did she get this? How did they do that? Ask the universe for clarity. Ask the universe for the energy to go for what you want. Ask for clear goals and clear guidance, because those are the things that are actually going to help you. Ask for calm and peace within yourself and then align yourself with that. And if you need extra help, you could also journal it. But the worst thing you can do is take it out on somebody else and act like they're the problem for whatever you are unhappy with. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and this little short segmenty style video. And as we get into Q4, you know, it's gonna get colder before we know it, and we're gonna be snuggling in our little homes and looking for things to watch. And I definitely want to give you guys longer episodes, but you have to let me know in the comments what type of things you are wanting to hear on this podcast. I'm always looking to elevate the topics. I'm always looking to expand the conversation and just find new things to think about and sink my teeth into. I also really want to do like more research-based videos, not just confidence types of videos, but like the history of certain things or like more sociology types of topics and conversation. So again, if there's anything that you guys have been pondering or you want to talk about or learn more about, please let me know. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube, and if you are listening to me on Spotify or Apple, make sure you rate me 5 stars. And if you feel so inclined, you can definitely leave me a review. Let people know what this podcast is about before they listen. But I will catch you guys next Tuesday. I hope you have a safe and amazing week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.